Strawberries, the tiny fruit that helps your brain stay younger. Most people think strawberries are just a sweet summer snack, but your brain treats them more like protection against mental aging. These bright red berries quietly support memory, focus, mood stability, and even recovery from daily mental stress. The problem is that many people only eat strawberries inside sugary desserts or flavored yogurt loaded with artificial ingredients. What actually works better is eating fresh strawberries regularly with protein or healthy fats, so the antioxidants stay useful inside the body longer. After a few weeks, many people notice less brain fog and more stable energy instead of those sharp mental crashes after sugary snacks. Here's where it gets interesting. Strawberries contain compounds that help reduce inflammation inside brain cells, which matters because chronic inflammation is strongly linked to memory decline. And once inflammation starts dropping, the next thing your brain starts craving may surprise you even more. Pomegranates, the fruit that feeds your brain's blood flow. One of the biggest hidden causes of mental fatigue is not lack of motivation. It is poor circulation reaching the brain. Pomegranates help support sharper focus, better endurance, healthier arteries, and more oxygen delivery at the same time. Most people make the mistake of drinking processed pomegranate juice filled with added sugar, which cancels out many of the real benefits. The smarter approach is using real pomegranate seeds or unsweetened juice in smaller amounts consistently throughout the week. And this is where everything changes. Improved blood flow can make the brain feel more awake without relying on caffeine overload. Scientists believe the polyphenols inside pomegranates help protect blood vessels from oxidative stress, allowing nutrients and oxygen to move more efficiently through the body. But better circulation alone is not enough if your brain still struggles to create steady fuel throughout the day. Bananas, the brain fuel most people use the wrong way. A banana can either stabilize your brain for hours or leave you mentally exhausted again within 30 minutes. This simple fruit supports energy production, mood balance, nerve function, and concentration because it contains potassium, vitamin B6, and natural carbohydrates the brain can actually use efficiently. The mistake most people make is eating bananas together with ultra-processed breakfasts that spike blood sugar too fast. A much better strategy is pairing bananas with nuts, eggs, or yogurt, so the energy release becomes slower and more stable. Once this happens, the brain stops riding the roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes that destroy focus during the day. Here's the surprising part. Your brain consumes enormous amounts of glucose, but it performs best when that fuel arrives gradually instead of all at once. And that idea becomes even more powerful when we move into one drink that millions of people already consume daily without realizing its hidden brain effects. Green tea, the drink that calms your brain while keeping it sharp. Most people use caffeine to force their brain awake, but green tea works in a completely different way. Instead of creating nervous energy and sudden crashes, it helps improve focus, mental clarity, mood stability, and even long-term brain protection at the same time. The mistake is treating green tea like sugary bottled drinks that contain barely any real tea compounds. What actually helps the brain is drinking real green tea consistently without flooding it with sweeteners and artificial flavors. After a while, many people notice their concentration feels smoother and their thoughts become less scattered during stressful hours. Here's where it gets fascinating. Green tea contains both caffeine and L-theanine, a combination that helps the brain stay alert without triggering the same overstimulation found in strong coffee. And once the brain becomes calmer and clearer, it becomes easier to support something even more important: long-term memory and mental resilience. Salmon, the brain food your nervous system secretly depends on. A tired brain is often not overworked. It is undernourished at the cellular level. Salmon supports memory, emotional balance, reaction speed, and cognitive performance because it delivers omega-3 fats that help brain cells communicate more efficiently. The problem is that many people replace healthy fats with ultra-processed oils that increase inflammation instead of supporting the nervous system. A smarter move is eating quality salmon regularly alongside whole foods that help the body absorb those nutrients properly. And this is where everything changes. Many people report more stable mood and clearer thinking when healthy fats become consistent instead of occasional. Scientists have found that a large portion of the brain is built from fat, which means the quality of fat you eat directly influences how well your brain functions. But even strong brain cells still need protection from another hidden problem most people ignore every day: oranges, the everyday fruit that quietly protects your brain. Most people associate oranges with immunity, but the brain may benefit from them just as much as the immune system does. Oranges help support concentration, blood vessel health, energy production, and mental recovery because they are rich in vitamin C and protective antioxidants. The common mistake is consuming orange-flavored drinks that contain more sugar than actual fruit nutrients. What works far better is eating whole oranges so the fiber slows sugar absorption and keeps energy steadier for the brain. Over time, this can help reduce those afternoon crashes where focus suddenly disappears and the mind feels heavy. Here's the interesting part. Vitamin C helps protect brain cells from oxidative stress caused by poor sleep, stress, and processed food overload. And once your brain becomes more protected internally, the next food starts improving the actual structure and flexibility of brain tissue itself. Avocados, the fat your brain actually wants. For years, people feared fat would make the body slower and less healthy, but the brain depends on the right fats to function properly. Avocados help support memory, focus, mood stability, and long-lasting energy because they provide healthy fats that nourish brain cells instead of overwhelming them. The mistake most people make is combining avocados with highly processed fast food that cancels out many of the benefits. A much smarter approach is adding avocado to balanced meals with protein, vegetables, and whole foods that keep blood sugar stable. After some time, many people notice they stay mentally full longer instead of constantly craving snacks and caffeine. Here's where it gets surprising. The brain is made mostly of fat, so the quality of fat you eat directly affects how flexible and efficient brain communication becomes. And once your brain has stable fuel and healthier cell function, it starts demanding another nutrient that controls attention and memory even more deeply. Eggs, the breakfast food your memory relies on. A weak memory is not always caused by aging. Sometimes the brain is simply missing the raw materials it needs to build neurotransmitters. Eggs support concentration, mental energy, learning ability, and nervous system function because they contain choline, a nutrient many people do not get enough of. The problem is that modern breakfasts are often overloaded with sugar while lacking the nutrients that actually help the brain stay sharp. What works better is starting the day with protein-rich foods like eggs that create slower and more stable energy for the mind. Once this becomes a habit, many people notice fewer crashes, less irritability, and improved focus throughout the morning. Scientists know that choline helps produce acetylcholine, a chemical deeply connected to memory and communication between brain cells. And when brain communication improves, your mind becomes far more capable of handling stress, distractions, and mental fatigue from daily life. Broccoli, the vegetable that acts like brain armor. Most people eat broccoli because they think it is simply healthy, but its effects on the brain are far more interesting than they realize. Broccoli supports mental clarity, detoxification, memory protection, and healthy aging because it contains powerful plant compounds that help defend brain cells from damage. The mistake is overcooking broccoli until many of its protective nutrients begin breaking down. A better strategy is lightly steaming it so the body can still access the compounds that support both the brain and nervous system. And this is where everything changes. Reducing long-term inflammation can help the brain stay sharper and more adaptable as the years pass. Researchers believe broccoli helps activate natural defense systems inside the body that protect cells from oxidative stress and toxic overload, which means the foods you eat every day may quietly determine whether your brain feels older or younger over time.